One of the key components on any bow is its string, and there's many different strings out there on the market. You have the endless loop and the Flemish twist. Today we're going to show you how to make the Flemish twist string. Now, the Flemish twist string is made with only a handful of tools, and it can easily be done right at your own home. All you need is a string jig, a ruler, obviously some string material, and some serving and serving tool. First thing we need to do to make a string for any bow is determine first off how long that string needs to be. Now, the string length is going to be based upon the AMO of your bow. Most bows have the AMO written on them somewhere, but if they don't, you can determine this simply by measuring the bow from knot groove to knot groove. What you do is you get yourself a tape measure and start at the notch where the string would go and follow the lines of the bow, keeping the tape as close to the bow as possible. And when you get to the handle, you go straight across and up and down the other side. Again, keeping it flush to the bow, get the most accurate reading. This bow comes up with an AMO of 52 inches. With our AMO set, we come over to our fletching jig. Now, you'll notice on this fletching jig there's a peg with many holes up and down it, and the holes are all numbered. We're going to move our peg to the hole marked 52. Next thing we have to decide is how heavy the string needs to be. That's based upon the weight of the bow. This particular bow weighs in at 45 pounds. So for that, we're going to make a 14 to 16 bundle string. We're going to make it 14 bundles in this one, 14 strands in two different bundles, alternating between brown and gold to give us a nice contrast and two-tone string. Now, to start, we're going to start off with our brown string material. We're going to tie a simple overhand knot on the top nail peg. And what we're going to do is we're going to run it down to the bottom, up over our length indicator, down, and then back up to the next one. And we're going to repeat this until we have reached 7 bundles. As we count down our strands, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th one and final one will go all the way down around and then back up across the very top nail peg. Now, all the string jig does is allows you to have tapered ends so that when you twist the string together, it doesn't all transition into one end, one big clump. It gives you a nice gradual transition into the actual string. What you want to do now is you want to grab the string bundle now, all 7 of the strands, and they're already waxed. So what you want to do, you just want to kind of run them through your hands and heat that wax up and kind of keep them all stuck together. So later on when we start twisting them, they're going to stay together as one bundle. Now, the next step involves actually twisting the string. What you want to do is you want to line up the ends so that they're even with each other, and you want to go down approximately 7 inches. And the whole magic of a Flemish twist string comes in this part right here. You're going to rotate the bundle clockwise and then twist it back in the opposite direction. Twist and then over. So what you're doing is you're basically twisting it in one direction, and then as it tries to untwist, it's locking itself in to the next string, preventing it from untwisting. Once you have about 2 inches, you can make your loop, putting light colors together. And again, Just kind of heat them up with your hands and run them through. And again, it's the same process. You're twisting and then going over. And then once you get to the end of your transition where the two tag ends come together, I like to throw a couple more twists just past that, usually about 3 or 4 more, just to help lock everything in place. And then what I like to do, so I can put it over top of something, and then just kind of pull that and set those in place. And that's one of your loops. Now as you twisted this, you'll notice you put some twists into the actual string itself. So now what you want to do is you want to untwist your string, because as we make the other side, we want those strings to be straight. Again, we're just going to put some counter twists in this string. It's the same process. You're going to twist, then over. Twist and over. So then after you've got both ends done, you're just going to twist them in opposite directions to get your string down to the right length. Now we're making this string for a 52-inch AMO bow that's a recurve. So that means the finished string needs to be about 48 inches long. And again, with a Flemish twist string, you can tighten the string up to adjust your brace height as well. But we're going to start off with a 48-inch string and see where we need to adjust it out from there. So now that we've got the bow string made and it's on the bow, the next thing is going to be putting on our serving. Now what I've done is I've placed the bow square on the string and set it on the, in this case, the arrow rest itself. If you're shooting off the shelf, you're going to put it on the shelf. I'm going to take my serving tool, and I'm going to start it a little bit above the bow square. About 1 finger, you can go 2 fingers. You can use as much or as little serving on your bow as you need or prefer. And I'm literally just going to start wrapping the serving tool around the bowstring itself. Now basically all the serving tool does is allows us to get a nice tight serving on there, easier than doing it by hand. And what I like to do is I like to hold the bowstring steady in one hand as I rotate the tool around the string with the other. So now we've given ourselves about 7 inches of serving. What you want to do is you want to pull down, give yourself about another 10 inches or so, put it over the top. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off here. And we're going to do what they call a back serving. So we're going to put it over and then just loosely wrap the string back towards the actual serving that we had just got done tying. Doesn't have to be a lot, 5-6 times I'd say it's probably about the minimum. You can go as many as you want. This is what's going to help lock the serving in place and keep it from being untied. So now that we're back up to the serving, we want to put underneath where the serving ended. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to the loosely wrapped strings that we just put in there. Once you pull the string through tight, you're just going to take your knife, cut it with a typical cigarette lighter, and you're just going to burn and melt that nylon into place, help locking everything in and just kind of smoothing it over. So this, along with many others, can be found on our shop, so I encourage you to check them out. Thanks for watching.